there's a lot of folks who are centrist, but there's no justification for why they are in the position they are. And there's sort of lots of mealy-mouthed kinds of centrist positions one can have. But the fact that one has a centrist position doesn't necessarily mean that it is mealy-mouthed. So, and I gave you a whole bunch of examples, I'll put them on the screen now, where I'm in the middle in some intuitive sense than these sorts of extremes, and they're in every case for certain kinds of justified reasons. There's certain principles which allow you to land there, and just because you can extend some kind of left-right associated continuum where one is on one side and the other, and so people often feel like, well, I'm on that side, so I should go to the extreme because that's where all the principles push one. That's not the case, right? Let me give you a very specific example, and this is from the Nolan diagram, the two-dimensional diagram where you've got economic liberty and personal liberty. And it's common to see the left-right distribution of sorts of positions within it, and libertarians at the top, authoritarians at the bottom. Now, imagine a curve shown as I'm showing it here, and you can see the curve, it's going through libertarianism. In fact, it's curving upwards near the top to this highly principled position, right? Libertarians, super principled. One of the most principled positions you can have. And it's just halfway, approximately part way from one extreme on the left to one extreme on the right. So you can say, well, that's totally an arbitrary centrist position. No, it's one of the most principled positions that you can find in all of politics and all socio-political discussions is the libertarian position. So this is just an example that I want it to be clear to you. It's not the case that if a position is in the middle, it's necessarily mealy-mouthed. It is the case that many are mealy-mouthed, but just because it's in the middle doesn't mean it isn't necessarily mealy-mouthed. And a lot of people seem to have the opinion that, well, I can see that there's a lot of room to slide over in that direction, so if I don't slide all the way to the end, I must be a mealy-mouthed position. That is a fallacy.